Wild stuff from Barcelona, who come from behind to beat Villarreal 4-3 on the road, Jules. This game was another roller coaster.
It was crazy, Gav. They went 2-0 up to start with, then they were 3-2 down just after the break, and then they came back to win 4-3. Lewandowski with the last goal. Lamine Yamal, who we mentioned in the next quick hits, was I have to say outstanding for someone who is 16 and 45 days, and for all the defensive brilliance of last season, and they've got a lot of players missing defensively, of course. Frankie de Jong still had to play in that kind of weird back three.
Marcos Alonso and Sergio Roberto as your fullbacks.
Exactly.
Probably not what you're looking for.
Exactly, you're right. But it's good as well for Barca and Xavi to win in a different way than the 1-0 or 2-0 that we've seen before. I thought they played well with the ball. They created, but Villarreal helps you do that because they're
Kike Setien.
Exactly.
So
they're very attacking.
open.
They're very open. They're this and that. So they won't win like that every single game. However, I think it's positive to win and score 4 goals. It's always good.
So I thought Lewandowski's not had a great start to the season.
No.
What I did not expect, because he's a striker, and we're talking about strikers, confidence. Afterwards, he was asked I was watching on Liga TV, he was asked a question about Lamine Yamal, and then he answers that, and then he takes it onto himself, and he talks about how he's had a difficult start to the season, and he's not where he wants to be.
Yeah.
And I thought, hats off to you, Leva, because
I agree.
It takes a big man to do that. Xavi obviously has a ton of faith in him. He did look a lot better when Ferran Torres came into play alongside him. Is he reaching this point of the season or point of his career where maybe he's more effective in a 2?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he can't do it all on his own anymore. Like holding the ball up like he used to do before and was so good at it. Being in the box at the right time, at the right place. Being that extra sharp.
It's just a lot of work, especially when Gavi's in the front three. Which is pretty much a fixture these days.
Yeah, exactly. And talking about Lamine Yamal, Gabi hit the woodwork twice, one with each foot. He delivered an assist. He was involved in the Lewandowski goal when he hit the post. He's 16 and 45 days, as we said, Gab. Are you still thinking he's too young, like you said at the end of last season?
You know what? When facts change, opinions change. No, because like I said, often you see youngsters get into the team, and it's always the same thing, right? They're always wingers or strikers, and there are always people who go and they take people on, right? And then they lose the ball and they track back. I think that's how he struggled defensively against Pedraza. I mean, he was asked to kind of cover the flank by himself.
Yeah.
Look, it's not a knock on him. He's going to learn. He's going to grow with that. But you look at his decision making. You look at his maturity. You look at his confidence. That pass that he made with his weaker foot.
Yeah.
If he has a weaker foot. You look at his size.
It's pretty special.
It is special.
Okay, there's so much I want to touch on here with it, Janusz, because just at the end there, Marcotti said that he always makes the right decision, which is something his coach has said afterwards. And at 16 years old, Xavi has said he nearly always makes the best decision, which is really difficult in football. And we are talking about a 16-year-old. Now, they said that we heard from Lewandowski after the game, and I feel he was very responsible as well in his assessment of this player, because you do feel that it comes with a responsibility, Janusz, myself included. He's going to be the topic of my LaLiga piece this week. I've already talked about this player when he made his debut at 15 last season, but you do feel that we have a duty to just be that little bit careful when talking about players of this age.
Well, we do. There's 2 topics here. What's he doing now, how good he is, and how to develop and take care of him, right? So how good is he? I mean, the boys have said it in terms of maturity. I mean, we often talk about how heavy certain shirts are. Certainly this is one. But I'll tell you about greatness. And far from me to say that he's great, but at least what he shows me is that by playing the way he is, free for such a massive, massive club, who, by the way, is nowhere near their best or the best that they've been in years past, right? I mean, this is the sort of talent that, just watching Lamine, you say to yourself, there's no ceiling. Of course, we don't know what may or may not happen because the pressure is going to compound every game he plays. Everybody's going to start paying attention. Everybody's kind of like, oh, really? Okay, yeah, he's good. We got to pay attention. How much attention do we pay for? Do we pay to him? But you look at the way he moves, the way he wants the ball, the way he wants responsibility. It takes a special talent to do that on any team, never mind on Barcelona, in a way that he's played. And that's why you're talking about a special player who, I mean, when you look at it, when you look at Xavi, Iniesta, Leo Messi, those are the players, it didn't matter. See, I see him and I'd be overthinking every decision. Should I be getting the ball? Should I be yelling at the player? I'm at Barcelona. Maybe I'll be careful. I've got time. This wasn't the sort of performance that tells you, I've got time. I'm 16. I shouldn't want the pressure and responsibility. This is why we need to get excited about him. The second part, of course, is a little bit tricky, right? Because it's easy to go to Ansu Fati because he was at that point a couple of years ago, right? But that was a massive injury at the time where he was lights out, if I remember correctly. Remember that. Not just but for Spain. And then he misses the whole season. So I'll wait and see. I'm not here to sit and say I'm absolutely frustrated with Ansu Fati. He'll never be a player because you can never foresee that. The better example for me with him would be Pedri, because remember the mistake they made in 2021. He played more minutes than anybody, played in European championships, played every game for Barcelona, and on top of that, somehow made a crazy decision to let him go to the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And now you sneeze at Pedri and he's out. That's all it takes. I don't know what's going to happen with him because he was exploited so much at such a young age at that time as well. So those are the two issues. But in terms of a footballer, I mean, did you watch that the other day? I mean, 92% pass accuracy. I think he completed 34 of 37 passes away at Villarreal, where they had to come back in this game, right? I mean, great assist on the goal was, I think it was to Gavi, right? And everything else. So one knock on his game as I watch him, because that he knows that left foot is special and he loves to play that long ball. That long ball doesn't always get there. He forces it sometimes because I think he knows he can squeeze it in, and he does it almost all the time without watching if there are other options with that. But other than that, I mean, you look at his statistics and the way he played. I mean, he was the man of the match at 16 years old, Villarreal away, with plenty of stars around him. No questions about his talent.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.